I mean, I have no worry. I don't know how they take away my citizenship and like deport me.
Are you stupid? Are you a stupid person? Because they came on a plane along with thousands of other people that shouldn't be here.
What do the Somalians have to do with this Afghan guy who shot the national?
Nothing, but Somalians have caused a lot of trouble. They're ripping us off for a lot of money. There's a tremendous amount of money going back to Somalia. What the hell are we paying money to Somalia for?
Donald Trump says he will pause all migration to the US from the third world.
This is a low IQ person who I can't even believe is a congressperson.
For me, I feel embarrassed for him.
And this is what he's had to say on Truth Social. You can see the second line there. I will permanently pause migration from all third world countries to allow the US system to fully recover.
Democrat Congresswoman Ilhan Omar is railing against this. She's spoken out about the importance of Somalian immigration to America.
Somalis are not terrorizing this nation. We are helping it thrive.
President Trump over the weekend vowing to terminate temporary legal protections for Somalis living in Minnesota.
Somalis have always seen themselves as a fabric of this nation.
But I don't even know like why that's such a scary threat. Like, I'm not the 8-year-old who escaped war anymore. I'm grown. My kids are grown. Like, I can go live wherever I want.
What she said there is, I mean, so ridiculous as to be laughable. That Somalis have been part of the fabric of America. They just haven't been. I mean, a small number of Somalis have arrived in recent years, and I'd love to know if what it is that they're contributing, which offsets the kind of corruption that we've just learned about.
The president posted to Truth Social on Friday, Minnesota under Governor Tim Walz is a hub of fraudulent money laundering activity. I am, as president of the United States, hereby terminating, effective immediately, the Temporary Protected Status, TPS program, for Somalis in Minnesota. Somali gangs are terrorizing the people of that great state, and billions of dollars are missing. Send them back to where they came from. It's over.
We found organizations here that were involved in sponsoring many, many individuals. They did not know necessarily the individuals they were sponsoring. They were doing almost a blanket sponsorship.
Meantime, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz responded to the move on X, writing, "It's not surprising that the president has chosen to broadly target an entire community. This is what he does to change the subject.
All roads lead to Mogadishu, Somalia. I've booked my flight. By the end of this year, I'm moving to Somalia full time, bro. The West does not want us here anymore, so it's cool, we're cutting. You man are saying all roads lead to Rome. I'm saying all roads lead to Somalia, bro."
I have this test, Rita, on communities, which is if you found out the people in your community were carrying out massive amounts of fraud, would you want to cover it up, or would you want to expose it and make sure it was addressed? We learn a lot about Ilhan Omar by the fact that she doesn't think it's something that should be opened up and addressed. She wants to deflect, and that tells us just everything about her and her own honesty.
TPS is a program that was always meant to be temporary. It's a program that is put in place, and I believe for Somalia over 30 years ago, and will need to be evaluated to make sure that it comes and is always implemented in the process for which it was intended.
So much controversy happening in the United States right now with ICE, who are also wearing uniforms and wearing masks.
Many Somalis gathered in Minneapolis today to publicly voice their opposition.
From the Somali community and people coming out in support. On Friday, President Trump said that he would immediately terminate temporary deportation protections from Somalis living in Minnesota, blaming them for fraud in Minnesota.
We're not here by accident. We're here to stay forever.
Minnesota has the largest Somali population in the country.
Trump recently announced he would end the federal protection known as Temporary Protected Status, TPS, for Somali immigrants in Minnesota, effective immediately.
Somalia's current temporary protected status extension runs through March of next year.
There are currently 500 Somalis in Minnesota living with these protections and a total of 700 nationwide. Many expect this to be challenged in court, but in the meantime, Somalis here say they are fearful of what's to come.
People are always going to be fearful, but we're telling our people we're greater than fear. We have resilience. We're people that are brave.
When temporary status is revoked, federal law states it can't take effect earlier than 60 days after publication of that notice.
I mean, it's just, it very much does reveal the soul of a person, how you treat somebody who's deceased. Like, that tells you everything. Like, how she's treated Charlie Kirk after his horrific death at the hands of a, left-wing radical is sickening.
Charlie was someone who once said, guns save lives. Charlie was someone who was willing to debate and downplay the death of George Floyd in the hands of Minneapolis police.
I think he called him a scumbag.
Right, have no regard, downplay slavery and what Black people have gone through in this country.
Complete rewriting of history.
Yeah, there is nothing more effed up, than to completely pretend that his words and actions have not been recorded.
And just a post here from U.S. Immigration Services: marriage fraud is a crime. They're just reminding us here. I don't know if they're trying to send a message. I don't know. Report marriage fraud here.
Interesting. I think we need to make some reports, Benny.
Okay.
You have quite the following. I think we could get a few reports made on this one.
I guess we'll see. Where thank you, Congresswoman. Obviously, this is something. All of these topics are very interesting, but man, Victor Marks, I'm gonna hit him up.
Evidence shows Ilhan Omar married her brother Ahmed Noor Saeed Elmi. Marriage records have been made public. She helped him gain citizenship.
So right now we're blessed to have 3 Somali elected officials at the Capitol. Me, Sister Holden Hassan, who's in the State House, and Brother Mahmoud Noor. And we work very closely together.
Congresswoman Omar, anybody safe? Can I get your reaction to the shooting that happened in D.C. last night?
I'm going to go for now.
I'm going to go for now, Mark. Couldn't even say condolences for the family.
And we carry each other's bills. So the way it works is if there's a bill in the House, it needs an identical bill to be carried in the Senate for it to be negotiated and to pass in the committees and then go on for the floor session and then go on to the governor's signature. So we're able to pass our bills back and forth that'll help benefit our community.
This is a low IQ person who I can't even believe is a congressperson.
For me, I feel embarrassed for him because in these attacks...
Ilhan Omar and the group. I met the head of Somalia. Did you know that? And I suggested that maybe he'd like to take her back, and he didn't want her. He said, I don't want her. Okay, what else?
They expose themselves for how stupid they are.
So we are sick and tired of the president waking up one day and deciding to put forth falsehoods and demonize whole communities while the ignorant people that support him then take the lies that he's spreading and use it as a fact.
We have Ilhan Omar, who does nothing but complain about our country and our Constitution. And she comes from a country with practically no country. It's a mess. It's a disgrace. So we're not taking their people anymore. We're not taking their people. And we're getting a lot of their people out because they're nothing but trouble.
The clash between Donald Trump, Somali communities in Minnesota, and political leaders like Ilhan Omar and Governor Tim Walz highlights a deep national debate over immigration, security, and the limits of executive power. What do you think? Is this a justified enforcement move or an overreach that unfairly targets an entire community?